much. MP Chuka Umunna.
Thanks very much, Chair. Obviously, since you last appeared before this committee, Governor, there has obviously been a change in government. And I think it was on the 20th of May that there was a full coalition agreement that was agreed between the two coalition partners. And that agreed one of the coalition parties, the Liberal Democrats, substantially changing their economic policy from that they had been campaigning on. Now, around the 14th of May, the Deputy Prime Minister met with you, and he said of his meeting with you in the Observer on the 6th of June that you had a long conversation that caused him to change his mind on the pace and how deep fiscal consolidation should be. It might help if I just quote. He said in relation to you, he couldn't have been more emphatic. He said, if you don't do this, then because of the deterioration of market conditions, it will be even more painful to do it later. Can I just ask you, Governor, what did you say to the Deputy Prime Minister then about your views on the deficit that weren't already in the public domain?
I had said nothing that wasn't already in the public domain. If I can go back to the sequence of events, I can't remember the numbers of the dates, but the election was on a Thursday, results on a Friday. Over that weekend, then there was obviously the European saga where the previous Chancellor, Alistair Darling, who remained Chancellor, went to Brussels and led the discussions on behalf of the United Kingdom. Then we went through the following week. On the Wednesday, there was the inflation report press conference. That's when I made a public comment in response to an open request from the new government to comment publicly on the fiscal position. So I commented publicly at the inflation report press conference. The following Saturday, three days later, I had a telephone conversation with the Deputy Prime Minister. There was no meeting. I had a telephone conversation at which I basically repeated what I had said in the press conference.
So your position hadn't particularly changed publicly
between the Wednesday and the...
No,
not at all.
Did you feel comfortable being drawn in to essentially what were very politically sensitive matters around this time? And do you feel comfortable with the Deputy Prime Minister, if you like, citing this conversation with you as one of the primary factors causing him to change his position on what is essentially a fiscal as opposed to a monetary matter?
I don't think central bankers ever feel comfortable when they are drawn into comments made by politicians. On this occasion, the government had asked openly, in writing, for me to express my views in public, which I did at the inflation report press conference. And I was asked if I would accept a telephone call from the Deputy Prime Minister on the Saturday morning. I think it would have been unreasonable not to have accepted that telephone call, and I did so and had a private conversation.
Did you feel that you were used in any way in an attempt to...
No, I don't think so, because nothing I said in that conversation was different from what I had said in public. And indeed, I tried to make that, when giving advice, I've tried to make sure the advice I give is full square in private and in public, and it clearly was on this occasion.
Okay. Could I just